Hello and welcome. My name is Tim Moody. I am the Public Information Officer with the Randolph County School System. I'm here with our superintendent, Dr. Stephen Gainey. And as we do each month, we're here on RTV, the From the Desk Of feature, the monthly feature. This is the September 2015 edition. And as we sit here, we are about 1 day removed from the 1 month anniversary of a new school year. So Dr. Gainey, I'll just open up with, can you just give us some impressions of the first few weeks of school?
Well, Tim, we've had a great start to the school year. Schools are running smoothly. Kids are in classes learning, teachers are teaching. It looked like pretty quick on day one we've been in school for several months, and so we've had routines in place, and we're just looking to keep getting better every day. Our student numbers are very good. The state projected us at 17,924 kids, and you have to be careful with that because you get resources from the state at their projection, but if you don't make their number, then you have to give them back later in the year. So we looked at our numbers, and based on some developments in the community, we felt like 17,600 students was the appropriate number to allot resources on, and looks like we're in pretty good shape. As of day 20, our number was 17,635 students. So feel pretty good about that, and just had a good start to the year. We were able to fill almost all our vacancies headed into the school year, and that number was very small on the first day and the first couple of weeks. So just feel good where we are.
Okay. I know there was some big news a couple of weeks ago, not just for our schools and our school district, but statewide, when the state released the school report card and accountability report. Can you give us an update on that?
Well, Tim, the accountability report is always a big measure of how our school system's doing in that arena. Obviously, we have a lot of other things going on in the school system and a lot of different functions of the school system, but our number one mission is academics. And the results were mixed. There were some positives. There were some things we need to work on. Our focus has been for the last 2+ years has been continuous improvement and trying to improve from where we are, move forward. And so we had some things at schools that look very good. We had some things at schools that we know need improvement. We've got a lot of work to do, particularly at the middle school level, and everybody is aware of that. And everybody's digging in, and we're looking at using that data to help us in our planning stages of what changes we may make and revisions, whether it be big changes or revisions to programs, and see where we can go to get better. And I'm not a big, making wholesale changes as much as I am the revision piece. So that's where we're probably more of our focus is there. But we're going to keep working to get better. And like I say, that the report had some positives and had some areas of need of improvement. But I will say this, I don't go in a school anywhere in the Randolph County School System where I see students not trying and teachers and staff not working hard with kids and teaching. And so are there some things we have to work on? Yes, but the effort is not an issue, and so I'm very proud of that, and we'll just continue to work to get better.
Okay. We had our monthly Board of Education meeting this past Monday night, and we had some of our first recognitions for the new school year, and included our Star 3 students. We've got that program rolling out again. We also recognized the Principal of the Year for 2015-2016, so you share that with us.
Yes, Lisa Thompson at Archdale Elementary was named as the Principal of the Year for our school system, and Lisa she's a veteran educator. She's a very good principal. She was at Seagrove Elementary before she went to Archdale Elementary, and she's now starting her 3rd year at Archdale Elementary, and she's just a great leader. I mean, she knows who she is and what she's about, and she understands how to run a school, and she understands the needs of staff and the needs of students and parents, and she has the big picture of running a school, and high character person with a lot of ability, and I can't imagine any school or any school system wouldn't want a Lisa Thompson in the principal seat. I'm very happy she's with us. I think we're fortunate to have some of her caliber in one of our schools as the principal, and so it was a very well-deserved honor for her, and like many of our people, they're not asking for recognition. They're just glad to be a part of a good thing, which we believe we have here in the school system. And so she was, when we went out and recognized her, you were with us, she was surprised. And obviously she, as I expected, really didn't want the recognition. You know, she'd rather the kids get the recognition or staff get the recognition. But that's Lisa for you. And she's a great leader, so I think it's a well-deserved honor.
Okay. So Dr. Gainey, in the realm of education, there's probably been no topic that has been discussed more over the past few weeks and months than the state budget. There's been a lot of anticipation, a lot of speculation about what the numbers would ultimately be. Well, we finally have the budget. So I would be interested to hear your thoughts on the budget that we now have.
Well, Tim, the budget, it took a while, and I'm going to respect that the amount of time it took was needed to work through a bunch of issues in Raleigh, and so we do have it now. We've not received all the allotments. They'll start coming out now in the next couple days, but there were two big issues that the budget did address that we were very worried about, and one of them was driver's education, and the legislature did decide to return the funding there, and they have funded that, and that's a good thing for the community at large. It's a safety issue, and I think the public schools in North Carolina have done a very good job for years of providing driver's education, and I think we need to continue to do that, and I don't want it to become a safety issue in the community without the appropriate driver's education training. So I was excited to see that funding come back. Also, it was very exciting to see the regular education teacher assistant funding come back. We've been told we'll be funded at the same level we were last year. And I just want to say thank you to the teacher assistants, because in many ways their positions have been debated for several years now. We're talking on 5-6 years now. It's come up in the budget discussions, and the high level of character from our teacher assistants just continues to be very impressive. These teacher assistants started the school year not knowing what the final result was going to be about their positions, but they have never lost sight of what our number one job is, which is take care of children. I've talked to many of them during the early stages of the school year and the late part of the summer, and I just want to say thank you to them, because they have helped us maintain our focus on what we're supposed to be focused on, which is children. And I can't even begin to imagine how they've felt the last couple months or even the last couple of years. But it just tells you we have some just top-notch people as teacher assistants in the Randolph County School System and the state of North Carolina. Some other budget things that came up or didn't come up. I continue to be concerned about our teachers' salaries and our employees' salaries. I continue to hope that the state will revisit that and do more. I do believe, I feel very strongly that more needs to be done for our teachers. This is a very important profession to the longevity of our country and our success of our country, and we cannot take classroom teachers, counselors, principals, bus drivers, cafeteria staff. We cannot take these people for granted. And so I surely hope, and when I say take for granted, sometimes when you just don't move salaries, it starts that feeling that is their service being taken for granted? And we've got to do something to support these people, because yes, it's teaching in the education world is a little different profession, but there's a lot of people in classrooms and in counselors' offices and principal offices and in many different roles, whether technology or whatever, that have spent a lot of time out of their own pockets getting additional training. And we need to, as a state, we need to make sure we're doing our part as a state to support their salaries and salary improvements. So I do know it continues to be a discussion down there. And so, you start out, go back, Tim, driver's education, teacher assistants, very excited about that. And, if one thing comes out of the budget discussion that I would say still needs more discussion, that's teacher salaries. And when I say teacher salaries, I really spread it across the whole school site and school system site. It needs to be everybody. Everybody needs some attention to their salaries, need some attention at all positions.
Okay. All right, so staying on the subject of funding, but moving from state funding to more local funding, and this is something that we've talked about in some previous interviews, but I think it probably bears revisiting, is our 9-year facility plan. And we have this plan, a link to this plan featured on the homepage of our website. We try to make it readily available to our public. Can you just give us a bit of an update, maybe for those who don't really understand what the 9-year plan is, how it's funded, and just a general overview?
Well, to begin with, Tim, when you asked me about the 9-year plan, my first reaction is wow. It just really is. One of the exciting times for me as superintendent here is we put that plan together and we laid out what was going to happen over the next 9 years and facility upgrades and repairs such as roofs, doors, windows, bleachers and athletic facilities. And the wow comes because we started down this road with this plan in January of 2014 with our county commissioners and Board of Education, and we had some good discussions about it, and in 2 short years the county commissioners have funded this plan. We asked for essentially $736,000 in the spring of 2014. That's what we felt if we had that additional capital outlay funding, we could add it to what we already had and make this plan go. Over 9 years, the county commissioners, the first year they were able to find $250,000 in extra money. So we went back this year and asked them for $486,000 more dollars, and they came up with $500,000 more dollars. So when I think about that plan, I think, you know, this is reality now. We're going to start seeing things, you know, roofs, doors, windows. We already have the bleachers have been replaced at Eastern Randolph High School on the visitor side. I just, you know, I thank our Board of Education for supporting us and joining us in this pursuit of this plan, and I thank our county commissioners for getting behind it as well, because it's needed things. And I say we're going to start seeing things. There are some things you won't see, the public won't see, because it's hard to ride by a school and tell that it has a new roof on it. But if you go in the school, you'll see we won't have a leaking roof that might have gotten too old and needed to be replaced. Or you'll see some things. You'll walk up to schools and you're going to see some schools with new doors, new windows. It's just an exciting time for to see some improvements in our facilities, which are, you know, when I came here in 2013, I was very impressed with our facilities. But as time goes on, you have got to do things to facilities or they will deteriorate. And so just a big thank you to the county commissioners and to the Board of Education for helping us through this process.
Well, Dr. Gainey, we're sitting here in the mid to latter part of September. It's still very early in the school year, but believe it or not, we've already got our dates for graduation. It's hard to even think about graduation when we've got such a long way to go, but as you and I both know, it'll be here before you know it. Our Randolph Early College High School will be our first group to graduate. That's on May the 17th. That'll be at the Setwick here in Ashboro. Then the others are on June the 7th. So can you just give us a rundown of the graduation? I'm going to test your memory here. Can you give us a rundown of the graduation times? Because I know that folks are going to want to go ahead and get that on the calendars.
Well, Tim, one of the things I'm excited about with graduation is, you know, everybody's going to graduate on the same day, and I would love to be able to see multiple graduations on a year. I was able to do that my first year because, you know, I want to see the schools, support the staff, support the kids, and so does my leadership team and the board. We've talked about this a little bit. So an exciting development kind of came out of the Archdale Trinity zone. Wheatmore and Trinity were already staggered. Trinity has a 6 o'clock graduation and Wheatmore has an 8 o'clock graduation. So my first year I was able to see both of those. And we've talked among the high school principals. So we've got 2 other schools that have paired up and staggered this year. Eastern's going to be at 6 o'clock on June the 7th. And Providence Grove in that same zone is going to be at 8 o'clock. So, you know, there's the chance for somebody to see both, particularly if families have relatives at both schools. Randleman High and Southwest will still remain at 7 o'clock. But we're going to keep working at it. But exciting to see Eastern and Providence Grove pair like that. So gives us some more flexibility. And so it'll be a big day. And you're right, it'll be here before we know it. And many ways, I tell the school year starts out and we get going And when we get to October and November, it starts moving, and we'll be to June before you know it. And it'll be an exciting time, and it'll be exciting. It's always exciting to see the children graduate and then watch the next couple of years as their opportunities develop for them, and we learn what they're doing in the world of work, in the world of education, as far as additional education.
So I want to go back to something that you said just a few moments ago when we were talking about Lisa Thompson being selected Principal of the Year for our school system. And you mentioned that she doesn't like the recognition. Well, I know that you're that way as well. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that something very special happened to you on a personal level at our board meeting this past Monday night when our board extended your contract to the maximum actually allowable. You got to be honored by that. And so just if you would, maybe on a personal level, just share some thoughts about what that means to you.
Well, Tim, the word that you use, special, it was a special night for me. There's a lot of things you don't forget, and I think we all have those moments in life. I can tell you where I was when I received a phone call from the search firm that said the Randolph County Board of Education would like to move forward with you being the next superintendent of the school system. I can tell you exactly where I was. I can tell you what I was doing and the type of meeting I was in. So I'll never forget that. Never forget that. And you know, just like Monday night, I'll never forget that, because when I moved here, I made a commitment to try to help this school system with the staff that were here and any changes we had over time to help us get better. And you know, I just appreciate the Board of Education. They've been very good to me. What they did the other night with extending my contract is it goes beyond me. It goes, you know, I have a family, and it goes. My family's very appreciative of it. So yes, it was a special moment for me. I don't, you know, you're exactly right, Tim. I think there's so many people in this school system deserve a lot of credit for things that go on, and so I would rather that go in that direction. But you know, my biggest response to what the Board of Education did Monday night was thank you. And in many ways, it goes beyond the Board of Education. It's thank you to a community that, you know, I move in here from, you know, lived in a different part of the state, grew up in a different part of the state, and it's still to this day, I still kind of pinch myself that it hadn't felt like we moved. It feels like we've been here forever. My family and I, my family and my kids love it here. My wife loves it here. I love it here. And so, you know, Monday night was kind of a culmination of a, you know, another year for me. And yes, it was a very special moment to me. But it's just special because it gives me a chance to formally also say thank you to a Board of Education that's been very good to me, and to a community that's been very good to me. So we're going to move forward, and we're going to keep getting better, and we're going to do what's right for kids moving forward in the Randolph County School System.
Well, congratulations, Dr. Gainey, and thank you. And thank you to the community and to Randolph Communications for giving us the opportunity, as we do each month, to get out in front of you and share with you some of the great things that are going on in our schools and throughout our school district. We're excited for another school year. As we talked about, graduation will be here before you know it, but we look forward to these next several months. Thank you, and we will see you in October.